Rassie Rasmus and the Springboks have just released the final 23-man Springbok side of the year to face Wales, and there's a couple of surprises. I mean, it's a very, very interesting side. We're going to get into what I think about the team. As always, make sure to leave your opinions down in the comments, leave this video a like, and as always, please hit that subscribe button. Still about 80% of you guys that watch this channel on a regular basis are not subscribed. Now, let's get into the side. I'm a little bit under the weather at the moment, so if I don't have as much energy as I normally do and I stumble a little bit, that is why. But let's get into the side. Now, I think coming into this game against Wales, who are on an 11-game losing streak at the moment, we're expecting quite a lot of experimentation from Rassie Rasmus and the Springboks. Give a couple of guys some opportunity to really test out some of the depth in the side. Now, Rassie has given some chances here, but it's not as experimental as you would think, right? He definitely has a bit of a security blanket on this side at the moment. And I mean, I think what stands out, let's get into it. Let's start at the top. Oxenture, Johan Grobler and Thomas du Toit. Now, Johan Grobler getting a cap on this tour, I think, is vital for his development, especially as we move into the 2027 Rugby World Cup in the next couple of years, because we've got Bongi, we've got Malcolm Marx, and then Johan Grobler and Jan-Hendrik Wessels are sort of that third choice hooker, and Jan-Hendrik Wessels is sort of that utility forward that we are sort of developing towards that World Cup. I'm very, very happy to see Thomas du Toit get a start again against Wales. I think he's been a bit underestimated over the last couple of seasons, but I'm very, very happy to see that he is in this side. Then you got Ox starting up front, who there was a little bit of an injury scare with regards to him, but it's good to see him starting. A little bit unfortunate that he wasn't nominated for Rugby World Player of the Year, but I think I'll make a separate video to that with my thoughts on that. So I think a very strong front row. It's good to see Johan Grobler and Thomas du Toit in the mix there. Then into the lock department, and this is a little bit of surprise, but again, I'm very, very happy to see it. Jean Klein and Franco Mostert in that lock pairing. Now, you could look at it as our second or third choice lock options, but both of them have won a Rugby World Cup. So they're definitely not inexperienced. Jean Klein was sort of being phased out of the Springbok system, but I think with a couple of injuries, they had to bring him in. And I think it's going to be very, very good for him to get back into a Springbok top and maybe put his hand up and kind of say to Rassie and the coaching staff that he belongs in the Springbok setup. Franco Mostert missed the last game, but had a good game against Scotland in that first test. Also good to see him there, and he can sort of be that utility forward that sort of moves from lock or from lock into the flanker positions. Then into the loose trio, Circulisi starting. Very, very happy about that. And then we got Ulrich Loh and Jasper Visser. Now, Ulrich Loh in that number 7 jersey. I think it's difficult to say where I prefer him more, because he plays 7 for the Bulls, and that's because Cameron Hanekom plays 8, and you've also got Mpilo Gumede there that plays 8. So he works better for the Bulls in that number 7 jersey. I just really like him in the 8 jersey for the Springboks, and I like the combination of him and Jasper Visser, one of them starting and one of them coming off of the bench. But obviously, starting Jasper Visser, who had a phenomenal game against England last week, I think isn't a bad shout at all. And then obviously they're quite interchangeable in that 7 and 8 position. So I would say a pretty strong pack, and obviously not as strong as last weekend, missing names like Eben Etzebeth, Archias Neyman, who are on the bench. But I think it's a good mix of experienced guys that have been playing and throwing in a couple of guys that deserve opportunities. Your Johan Grobler, Jean Klein. You could even throw Thomas du Toit into that bag. So I like what Rassie's done there, sort of gone half of the pack, not newbies, but giving them an opportunity, and then half of the pack more experienced. Then, very exciting, we move into the back line, and that 9-10 combination is so cool. Jaden Hendrickse at 9, Jordan Hendrickse at 10, and we've kind of been asking, when's Jordan Hendrickse going to get his opportunity again for the Springboks? We saw him in the first test of the season against Wales. I think it was in June. He played 10. He didn't have a great game. It looked like he was under a little bit of pressure. Nothing was really sticking, but he's really worked on his game at the Sharks. I mean, he has the BMT. We saw it in the Currie Cup. He's been slotting some very, very good kicks in the URC, and he's just a very, very exciting player. His defense is also very good. He's a very physical number 10. And I mean, to be starting in a test with your brother at 9 and 10 is what dreams are made of. I think Jaden Hendrickse does have a little bit of work to do after that Scotland test match, and I think this is a good opportunity for him to again put his hand up and maybe just right some of those wrongs that happened in that Scottish test. We then look at the rest of the back line, and I mean, it's a pretty solid backline. Curtly Lawrence, Ches and Colby. I was thinking maybe they were going to play Makazole Mapimpi, maybe Kane and Moody, but they stuck with Curtly Lawrence and Ches and Colby, and then Damien Delende and Jesse Creel in that 12 and 13 jersey. So very much an experienced backline for the Springboks outside of maybe Jaden Hendrickse and Jordan Hendrickse. Then you got Apelele Fassi in that 15 jersey, who I think is arguably our best 15 at the moment because Damian Willemse is currently injured and he's not going to be back for a while. It is sad that Willie Leroux is not going to be getting his 100th cap. He's going to be stuck on 98 caps, and then he's going to have to get it next season if he makes the side, which is another talking point because I do think Willie Leroux deserves that 100th cap for the Springboks. But a very, very interesting backline. This backline is telling me that we're going to run the ball. I mean, Jordan Hendrickse is a very, very good flyer. You've got Apelele Fassi, who's going to counter-attack very well. He's going to secure that high ball. And we have two very good kickers in the number 9 and 10 jersey. Jaden Hendrickse and Jordan Hendrickse are going to put up some massive bombs. Jordan's got a very good boot. Jaden Hendrickse has a very good box kick. And Apelele Fassi is very, very good under that high ball. Not to even talk about Curtly Lawrence and Ches and Colby, two of the best wings in the world at the moment. So the starting 15 is experience, but there's also a couple of surprise packages in there. That brother combination is very, very cool. Jean Klein in that number 4 jersey, Tom Statoy in that 3, and Johan Grobler in the number 2 jersey, with Ulrich Loh playing that 7 is very, very interesting. So we've kind of gone for a couple of hand-picked guys that need some opportunity with experience around there. I think our backline is going to absolutely tear that Welsh backline to bits. We then move over into the bench, and we've gone for a 6-2 split, beg your pardon. And a lot of people have been asking. I mean, I even asked Rassie Erasmus at a press conference about 2 weeks ago whether he's going to give Cameron Hanekom an opportunity against Wales. I was hoping that he was going to start, but we have Cameron Hanekom on the bench alongside Malcolm Marx, Gerrit Steenekamp, and Vincent Koch. So again, you got Johan Grobler and Thomas du Toit starting, and then you got the experience of Vincent Koch, Malcolm Marx on the bench to sort of take over from them if need be. They will come on in sort of the 50th, 60th minutes, but it is nice to sort of have that insurance policy. And then talking about an insurance policy, we have Archie Snyman and Eben Etzebeth on the bench to take over from Jean Klein and Franco Mostert. So I think what's potentially going to happen there is Archie Snyman and Eben are going to go into that 4 and 5 combination. Franco Mostert might slot into a flanker position, and then Cameron Hanekom, it's going to be interesting to see whether he plays 7 or 8 for the Springboks. But I'm very, very happy to see Cameron Hanekom on a Springbok 23-man side. Then we've got Kobus Reinach and Handré Pollard, and I think that's, again, if we start Marnie and we start Jaden, then we're going to have sort of that experience and that blanket on the bench with Kobus Reinach and Handré Pollard. So I think I'm not quite sure what to make of the side because I was expecting a little bit more flair, but I can see what Rassie Erasmus is trying to do. He's not trying to throw these guys into a situation, into the deep water where they don't have anyone sort of around them that knows the Springbok system as well as these guys do. I mean, if you look at the backline, Damien Delende, Jesse Creel, Curtly Lawrence, and Ches and Colby, as experienced as you want, sprinkled with Jaden Hendrickse, Jordan Hendrickse, and Apelele Fassi. And then they've obviously got Sia, they've got Jasper Visser and Ox, and as well as Jean Klein and Franco Mostert up front with that experience, and then a couple of sprinkles in there. So I think a very, very good side. Very exciting time to be a Springbok supporter at the moment because we fielded 3 completely different sides against Scotland, England, and Wales, and I definitely think Wales are in for a massive, massive hiding on Saturday if the boys can get this done properly. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Leave this video a like, and as always, please hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.